pussy.
So we're going a little low tech today. We're actually walking around the park. And this is the Tangential Exchange episode 4. And honestly, we might do another one soon where we just record, or I might release it or I might not, where we're recording our thoughts on a new series we're going to do called Red Grove. Well, it's a new, old series, but, we're going to kind of revamp it, make it better than it was, I guess.
Yeah.
That's going to be his contribution. He's like, I didn't want to record. But yeah, we were talking about the Telltale games. And just how good they were, man. Like that first Walking Dead, season 1.
Oh, I miss it.
You didn't play it, or you did?
No, I missed it.
Oh, I missed it. I thought you said you missed it. I was just like, oh.
I only played the first one leading up to the ending. You know what I'm talking about.
I haven't played season 3.
I haven't played season 2 or 3, but
season 2 is really good.
Oh yeah, Clementine being a badass.
Oh yeah, like that one where you have to make the decision to. Sorry, spoiler alert on
everything.
How old is that game? That game has to at least be 9 years old or 10 years old by now.
What are you gonna spoil? Star Wars: A New Hope? You gonna spoil
that? Oh my god,
too?
yeah. That's where just all the spoilers. But yeah, we're actually sober for this one too, which is we weren't planning to do this, so hence why we are spoiler. But we are sober for this one. And we're also in a public park, so there's that too.
That too.
But yeah, the having Lee die at the end, basically no matter what you did, he died anyway.
Yeah, there's no saving him, shame.
I hate that studio kind of went under, because it was really good. They did that, and then I've been playing the Batman. I didn't play the second season yet.
I never played the Batmans, but it looked really. I played the demo.
Yeah.
That's as far as I got.
What's the demo like? Did they just have
It's just the first chapter. That's all it is.
Oh, okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
But I was just thinking, I was like, what would it be like? Okay, this is how far you would get if you actually bought it.
COVID test.
Yes, keep moving. But yeah, there was that, and then apparently the sequel to the Batman Telltale game had the Riddler and Bane and Mr. Freeze in it, and Joker was obviously in the first one.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And you could make him either a hero with you or a villain like he more traditionally is, yeah.
Oh, that's neat.
And there was Harvey in the first one, where, again, spoilers for a really old game, but, where it's no matter what you did, my one complaint with that, I guess, it's been brought up, is it is decision-based, it is choice-based, but there's really only 2 paths you can ultimately go down.
Yeah.
Basically, Harvey's going to be a dick to you no matter what you do in that game. Sure. You could do anything, and because I get it, they're not going to make a whole entirely different game. But, at the same time, there's really only 2 paths in that game.
Yeah. If you like choice-based games, have you tried the Heavy Rain or Beyond Human?
What's that?
You never played Heavy Rain?
Is that Max Payne?
No. Heavy Rain is
It just rhymes with Max Payne.
No, the original choice-based game, and then Telltale's came after it. Not saying that they copied it, but
but it's very similar.
But the choice-based system kind of games, Heavy Rain, I'm pretty sure made it popular because Walking Dead came after it.
Yeah, I remember Walking Dead just being this big thing. Well, that was at the height of popularity for that too.
Oh yeah.
Where that was just this big, because I remember just zombies being really big then in that series. And I remember before it became really popular, seeing one of my friends reading that first volume of it and just being like, what is that? And then reading it and being really impressed. And honestly, my only real complaint with the Walking Dead series, I guess, not the video game series, is that he didn't really have an ending in mind when he wrote that.
Right.
I mean, ultimately, he came up with one, but
it was just be Carl.
Yeah. And that was the thing where I was just and I've heard other people say the same thing, where it's it's fun for you as a writer, because there are certain story ideas I have where, it's fun for me to write about it as a writer, but is it fun for other people to read, long term? It's fun exercise for you.
Right.
But, ultimately, if you're making a story, and I know he came up with an end, but a story where it's like, no, it just keeps going on and on, like, not like the other zombie stories. I'm like, then what's the point, kind of thing? Like, where does this story end?
Yeah, I guess it could end for the characters that are in it, but I mean, technically, you could go on with it forever if you just keep following different characters.
Yeah, because that was my thing. It's just like, yeah, that's fun for other people have said this. I'm kind of echoing other people, but it's like, yeah, it's fun for you, but that's not really fun long term to read. Like, you're not really gonna. And we saw it. Like, ultimately, that kind of faded. Like, people, there are still like fans of Walking Dead, but the book series and the TV show, you know, not many people talk about it anymore.
Yeah. Did the book series ever end?
Yeah, it did. That's where the Carl ending comes from. Yeah.
Sure.
But yeah, there was that, and then sorry, we're walking around. There's a Kubota that went by us, but
Komodo dragon.
no. But yeah, there was that, and then just in general, I like that studio because they emphasize story over like everything. Like, the gameplay was good too, and I played that Back to the Future game they had before.
Yeah.
And that was really fun too. But like the whole, like, you have to make the split-second decision that's going to affect how the story turns out is a really cool concept, and I really wish that they kept making games. I don't know if they still are or not. Getting random soundtrack noises, but yeah. Yeah, copyright, I don't know. But yeah, I guess
I really gotta show you. It's Detroit Become Human.
I played a little bit of that.
All right, well, those people are the same person that made Heavy Rain and Beyond Two Souls.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, same creator, and they're all really good.
That's a kind of, not anthology, but it's kind of like I guess multiple narrative thing is what I call it, where it's like a bunch of different character narrative kind of thing, where you're not focusing on just one the whole time.
And it's all choice based, yeah.
Yeah.
And what's cool about I mean, all of them really is like, if a character dies, their story ends, and you continue without them, and you just play the other guy's stories. But unfortunately, you miss some story because they're dead.
Right.
So that's kind of interesting.
Because I remember playing that game, and again, spoilers on like an older game, but like, isn't there a part of that where your character, it's like a robot, but like they die or something, and then like you're like in this dumpster, kind of thing.
Yeah. One of the main characters is the robot, and I think that's part of the story where it has to happen, kind of. But there's also another part where
it's like hardwired. No matter what you do, that's going to kind of happen.
Yeah, because that's his arc of his story. So you can choose multiple ways to get there, but you know it will affect it. But you're going to get there. But
basically, it's like all streams lead to the same ocean. I'm messing up that like metaphor, but like you get what I mean.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, there is at the end there is multiple things. Like I chose one wrong path, and then he was pretty sad. I was like, well, fuck, now I gotta do it again.
Yeah, I've done that too, especially with the Telltale games, where it's like I made the wrong decision like for a split second. I need to go back, like make a different save file just so you can see how it goes when you do like a different way. Like you end up regretting, like, oh, I should have saved this person, or oh, I should have done it this way, because I instantly regret like this decision.
Or a part in The Walking Dead, the first Telltale one, when you're playing as Lee and everything.
Right.
I don't know if you remember this small part, but there was one part where you're at a farm and there's a homeless lady and she's gonna shoot you, and you have to like choose either shoot her or shoot something else.
Right.
And it turns out that's Clementine's mom, apparently.
Oh, really?
Do you remember that part?
Is that at the beginning, towards the beginning?
Middle. Well, kind of. It's in the beginning, but like a little farther out.
Oh, okay.
But
it's been a long time, but like that sounds kind of familiar.
True, but I remember I accidentally shot them because I panicked in that moment, and I remember that one because I was like, oh shit, I fucked up. And then you find out it's her mom, or it's supposedly her mom.
Yeah, it's about allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly.
Yeah, whatever. But yeah, I really like that stuff, obviously, because me and you, I haven't written anything in like a long time. Well, I've written things on and off, but like nothing like where I've completed a story.
Right.
And like that stuff used to attract me to it, because I'm like, this is really cool like story experiment kind of thing, where you really didn't see that kind of thing at the time. A lot more games were just more focused on online multiplayer or like, you know, that kind of thing.
Royale.
Yeah, where it's like the story was almost like secondary, especially when you look at games like the GTA 5 and like GTA games like that. The story is there.
Yeah, they had a big story, I thought.
But like, I guess I'm thinking of like other games where it's like, yeah, there's a story, but like really at the end of the day, it doesn't really, like they didn't really put a lot of thought into it. It's just like this leads to this next mission. There's not like a, oh, this character grows or changes kind of thing going on.
Right. Like Duke Nukem.
Yeah, well, yeah, like that one's more like,
I'm the same piece of shit as I always been.
yeah, it doesn't change. But yeah, just stuff like that. Behind the scenes, we're probably about to sit over here on this bench, so want to sit over here?
Sure.
All right. But yeah, we came on a good day. There's like barely anybody here. But yeah, like just games like that. And I forgot because I remember playing the Telltale games, just how like, not stressful, like stressful is the wrong word, but just like how nerve-wracking some of those decisions could be where you're trying to think like, okay, really quick, like, do I save this person or this person? Or like when it puts that little time limit on like you responding back to somebody and you're like, none of these responses back are really great or anything. And it's like, no matter what, especially with the Clementine thing, no matter what you do, it's like, oh, Clementine will remember that. I'm like, I didn't know she was going to be there.
Oh, man. I again, would definitely recommend Heavy Rain and the ones that they created because there's one character you play, Ethan Mars is one of the main characters. There's
Right.
4 characters altogether. But if you fuck up really bad, yeah, it'll bring you all the way to jail, and you have to create the noose, and you have to kill yourself. You don't have to, but it's like the only choice you have if you fuck up so bad.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know. How old is this game? It's pretty old?
It's pretty old, yeah.
Wow, I'm surprised I've heard that name before, Heavy Rain.
Yeah, since you're talking about the choice-based games, I would recommend that highly.
Yeah, wow, that's like an extreme, like...
But that's only if you fuck up so much. Like, if you miss, like, 6 or 12 things in a row, then you're gonna end up in jail and hung.
Wow. That's pretty bleak. I'm not expecting you to remember the story, but like, what's the kind of setup for that, I guess?
It's like a detective story, kind of.
Okay.
Where there's 4 characters. One's a father of 2. He loses a kid, and then his other kid gets taken. So he hires a detective, and that's another character you play, where you have to kind of look for clues. And on his side, he's kind of just searching around the city.
Right.
And then there's a journalist that's researching it, and then there's a cop or a private detective, and they're all kind of going for the same way, looking for his son.
Right.
And they all go through different paths and occasionally meet up with each other and stuff.
Oh, okay.
So it's really nice. It's a really cool detective story, for sure.
Interesting.
But, oh man, there's some fucked up endings for them. Like, one of the detectives, he has these cool glasses where you can like do that zoom into like DNA and shit.
Like what's that called? Where it's like the little readout or whatever, I guess, on there, where it has like the little visual readout where it's got like I forget what the word is. Yeah.
But I mean, there's a lot of spoilers I remember. But there's with him with the cool detective stuff, he has kind of this like weird future drug problem where he has to drip it into his eye. And
I've seen like other things that do that.
Oh,
like yeah, like that's like a.
But what's interesting with his side, again, if you fuck up so badly, he gets addicted to the drug, and he takes off his glasses, and he can still see the shit. Like, he can't escape his reality.
Oh, yeah?
So that's kind of interesting.
I've seen one where it's kind of like, it's not a video game, but like kind of similar to what you're talking about, where the guy, it's kind of like, I'll show you later, like I'll show you the YouTube link to it, but this guy does like these we'll get back to the story-based game stuff in a minute, but it's kind of like this animated thing, but a lot of them are kind of dark. Like, he does it himself pretty much, but like a lot of them are messed up. There's one where I think like what you're talking about, where he puts he's in this bleak, kind of messed up world, and he puts the drips in it. It's kind of similar to what you're saying, yeah. But yeah, that reminded me of that, what you were just talking about. But yeah, honestly, like I really do miss Telltale. I really wish like they would. I don't know if their current, whoever owns them, is planning on making any further games. I haven't researched it or anything, but I know they had that, the Minecraft thing, which I didn't really play, that Minecraft story mode.
Wolf Among Us, which is highly recommended, I'd say.
That's based off the that Fable universe?
Yeah, where like all your known fairy tales, like the Red Riding Hood, the wolf, and all that.
They got Snow White in there somewhere.
Yeah. And then they put them in a really interesting way, like the world that they create with it. I was like, dude, this should be a show and shit. But they're making a sequel. But again, you were saying Telltale closed down, so I don't know who took over the sequel, or for anyone.
It might be like they might have done one of those things where they clear out people, but they leave certain people in there. I mean, you never know.
True. But I'm really excited for that.
But yeah, I know me and you want to get back into storytelling. I mean, we love doing the podcast thing. Don't get us wrong, but like me and you both have been talking a long time, and I brought it up earlier about the about doing the either Red Grove or just some sort of series. I really want to make it something good, like something like really good, and like something we put. I want to work on my writing and my, obviously my illustrating too, to make it look really good and practice a lot. But yeah,
online paper.
Oh yeah. Because our first one. I mean, I might still release that as like a bonus, like as a bonus, like this isn't going to be our first issue, but here, like as kind of like a fun, like behind the scenes. This is what we were gonna do. Here's like what's it called, like the unaired version, not unaired, but unpublished version. Yeah. Like the unpublished version where I'll just release that story as is, because like it's not a terrible story, it's a good beginner, but there's that one I told you about that I don't really want to get super into here, but definitely will post more about later on my social media. I'll probably make a page for it at some point, but right now I just really want to focus on the writing of it.
The one art I did, remember the Parasite, the drawing I did?
Yeah. I'll include like a link or something to it in this.
But the character in there that's all twisted and bent up, that was actually based on one of the 3 stories I did that when we were talking about Red Grove. Right. I enjoyed that.
Right, you told me the one about like the worm or whatever that was inside the drink kind of thing, yeah.
So yeah, I have those 3, so I mean, I could flesh those out, and then you had a few. From what I remember.
Well, I had the one, and then I had started talking about, like, I had written out, I read out, like, I didn't finish it, but, like, a brief outline of what the second issue was going to be, which was going to be the one that I really...
Oh, I enjoyed the, sorry to cut you off.
Oh, no, you're good.
The war one, where, the fake soldiers are...
Oh, yeah, that was the one I was talking about. I need to finish the outline for that. Again, this is ideas that I've been kicking around in my head for... like, since I used to work, and I know this isn't going to mean anything to you guys, so I'll just say, like, maybe 7 years ago or something like that, maybe, 7 years ago, talking about, like, these stories, so, like, it's been in there for a while, so I do finally want to get those out and then write some new stories in addition to that.
That'd be nice.
But, yeah, I know originally we were going for more Twilight Zone type thing, and that was way before, we probably have to tweak it a little bit now, that was way before, the Twilight Zone did make a comeback with Jordan Peele, and then like Black Mirror wasn't really a thing when we were talking about that, and neither was I guess Love, Death, and Robots would kind of be one too. That's more heavy metal though than anything. I
enjoy that one, but it's another anthology, which is basically what we're doing.
Yeah, where it's like not all of them have to be horror. I think even when you look back at most Twilight Zones, not all of those were straight up horror or like.
So it's kind of like eerie, some of them.
Yeah, eerie or like a little bit suspenseful, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, we definitely.
Thought-provoking.
Yeah, that's it definitely that series was made because he couldn't publish the stories or make the stories he wanted to.
Right.
Like back then, because of the Hays Code and like the censorship and everything, he wasn't able to make stories tackling like communism and like the Red Scare and stuff like that. So he would have to kind of dress it up as like, an alien invasion story or something like that.
Which I think honestly made it a lot more interesting.
Yeah, it also made it like, I know some of those are dated, but like the stories still really work. I mean, it's to the point now where you see that stuff. The reason why it's so well remembered, one, is because it's great stories, but two, it's because of just how memorable some of those are. Like, I can't tell you how many times I remember that, like, just seeing that parodied of different Twilight Zone moments. Or like that moment with, I know you might have seen this episode. It's the one where the guy just wants to read kind of thing. And then like there's that nuclear, the glasses break. And then there was that parody on Family Guy.
Oh wait, I also saw one that reminded me a lot of that. It might have been the same thing. There's one where like this guy gets to a library and there's millions of books, but his glasses break and he can't read anything.
That's the one. Yeah, that's the one. It's got that's Burgess Meredith. That was the guy who, if you saw the old Adam West TV show, that's the guy who played Penguin on there.
Nice.
And he also was. You've seen the Rocky movies, right?
Yeah.
That's Mickey.
Okay.
In there, yeah. So he's been around, yeah.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, just like we just want to make stories, honestly, and just like it. And I'm honestly leaning more towards with other things, like, if we can do it, I know we're not the best actors ever, but, like, you know, maybe getting some people who can act and, like, making scripts.
Right.
For, like, some of them where we make some, like, Red Grove, like, films, maybe.
I'm interesting.
Where it's, like, short films, obviously. I'm not expecting us to do, like, a full feature-length thing or anything, but maybe, like, a 15, 20-minute type thing where it's easy to edit. I know we both, you know, have our other stuff beyond just our creative stuff going on. So, like, something that's easy to edit and kind of put together, but still looks good.
And plus, with Love, Death, and Robots, like, every episode's, like, 15 to 17 to 20 minutes. I mean, like, it's a good, you know, short period to do stuff with.
Yeah, and it's unlike with podcasts where you can just kind of sit and listen to it. With those, I want them to kind of be... It's kind of the same model where I used to do with my old YouTube stuff, where... it's to the point where I have ADD, and so like after a while I kind of, you know, check out of something I'm watching if it's not immediately grabbing me. So maybe that sweet spot of like, okay, you have this amount of time, say like extreme version, like 15 minutes, and you have to tell your story like act 1, 2, and 3 within those 15 minutes and make it, like, don't make it seem like it's rushed, but, like, the pacing has to be good, too. So, like, concise, like, storytelling.
Right.
And same thing with the comic. Like, we're not doing, like, 30-page, like, stories or whatever. If it goes beyond 15 pages, we're making a part 2 to the story, basically. Because I know that people are busy in their lives, and, like, podcasts are a little bit different, where you can kind of just have them on the background while you're either working out or, like, working at your job or whatever, so that's a little bit of a different format and medium. With a short film or even with a comic, I know that for me personally, I'm gonna write it, like, still write a good story, but write it as if like I'm reading it, like, kind of thing, and keep it to where like it's not rushed, but where the pacing is good.
Yeah, for sure.
Because that's the other thing too, is like with a lot of those things, like, and why those anthology series work are like, they're quick, and also for doing YouTube stuff, I know that a lot of people, you know, click off after a certain amount of time of, you know, like sitting there. Like, most people aren't going to watch like an hour or 2 hour long thing of you talking. They might listen to it if it's a podcast, but most of the time people are going to click out after like 2. It's like,
I've heard enough.
It's 2 hours. I've heard enough. That's it. But yeah, so that's like our goal. I guess this is kind of like us talking about story-based things and / like us talking about a story that we're going to be working on together. But yeah, just stuff like that. And we can even do stuff outside of Red Grove too. Like, I just want to make stories again, I guess, is the thing.
I miss storytelling.
But yeah, so definitely look forward to that, guys. Sorry to end up being kind of a commercial for that a little bit. But yeah, we're definitely trying to make, you know, just good stories. And I want it to be something that, like this podcast and like What Me and stuff like that, something I'm proud of and something, you know, I can be like, that has my name on it and I'm proud I made it, kind of thing.
Right.
And so, like, I know it's going to require some work, but like I'm ready for it, kind of thing. Like, we'll make time for it, sort of thing. But yeah, I guess that about does it. Sorry for these shorter episodes. I just try to keep them like a little bit more concise now. But yeah, I might add on to this one later with more additional talk, or I might not know that me and Amanda pretty soon are going to start doing the Miyazaki things. I think we're going to do one tonight. Nice. So we're going to do a series of those on What Mean, but this will be a kind of shorter, again, episode of the Tangential Exchange, where we just kind of talk about our things that, like, I guess Telltale kind of inspires me too. Like stuff that we really like video games again. and then like just like what we plan to do beyond just the podcast. So another behind the scenes look at this stuff. We just ended up talking about that. But yeah, this has been the Tangential Exchange. I'm Alex.
I'm Tripp.
And we will see you guys next time.